Hello everyone, welcome back to our YouTube channel Agri Addict. So this is one of the most demanded video and most requested video from our audience from the plant sciences. The students wanted to know like which is the best subject for the MSc if they are writing the exam in the subject of plant sciences. So plant sciences, after writing the exams, the students are always confused about whether to go for genetics, plant pathology, microbiology or seed technology, and we also have PGR. So what are the pros and cons, like which department is better for them, and what is the scope among the different subjects. This is something like which is like very much confusing among the students. Even like when we wrote the exams, we are also very confused about like which subject to choose. Yes, there was always a hype for the genetics and also for pathology, but there were also the minor subjects. Some always suggested to consider the minor subjects too, but some always say that only go for the major subjects. But what exactly, like how can we figure out which is best for us? So that is what we are going to discuss in this video. So after watching it, many things will be very clear. So you can decide by yourself like which subject is suitable for you, and make based on that you can attend the ICR counseling that will be coming very soon, right? So for all the upcoming batches for 2026, 2027 and the later years, so this video will be a lot more beneficial and useful. So watch the complete video, and if you have any queries to ask or if you have any doubts, you can always comment on this video. Okay, so let's start. So if you know, like you have, when you write the exam of plant sciences for the ICR PG exam, so after this, during the ICR counseling, you can opt any of these 5 subjects. That means like you can put all the 5 subjects in the ICR counseling, the preference list, but ultimately you can pursue your MSc or the post graduation from any of the any one of the department. So first one is like genetics and plant breeding, second one plant pathology, third one is microbiology, agriculture microbiology, and fourth one is seeds and technology, and the last one is plant genetic resource. So the first 4 things, like most of the students are already aware of it, but many are actually not knowing about this subject, which is PGR. So what is this PGR? PGR, like plant genetic resource. So the important highlight about this subject is this department is only available at IRA, which is a deemed university. So IRA New Delhi, only at the New Delhi campus. So this department is offered under plant sciences. Okay, all India level in the agriculture, you only have one institute which is offering degree in the plant genetic resource. There is no competition for PhD. There is nothing else. So what I mean to say is like if the student is pursuing like MSc, like let's assume there are 5 students in MSc for PGR. So next, like if they want to pursue the PhD, where they can pursue, again I only hire in New Delhi, and the number of seats will be more or less same of PhD. So all the students who have pursued the MSc, if they are wanting to do the PhD, there is very less competition. Why? Because there are all India level, there will be no students who will be writing this exam. Plus, in the agriculture background, there will be no students. But the eligibility for this subject for the PhD is along with the PGR, the students who have been in the botany, who have completed their post graduation in the botany or the MSc, they will be also eligible. But since it is a non-agriculture subjects, they can't easily compete with the agriculture students. So that's how, like for PhD, if the students are wanting to pursue, they can easily go for the PGR. There is very less competition for the PhD. But yes, you will ask me like, okay, PhD is fine, but what is the scope of this PGR? Like, what is the career opportunities that we get after pursuing the PGR, right? So this we will be discussing in the upcoming slides. And with all the other subjects, we'll be also discussing the PGR. Rest. So what is the main difference between the 4 subjects? See, I'll tell you about these two. You can differentiate this as like major subject, and these two are like all three are minor, and this are clearly differentiated between all this, that this is the separate PGR, because it is different because there is only one institute which is providing the degree for the PGR, right? That's the main thing. Other than that, like out of 4 subjects, it can be again divided into major and minor. Why major and minor? In terms of like the factors which are like the area of research in different fields, the infrastructure that is available, the projects that are available, the funding if you can take, plus most importantly the number of seats in different agriculture universities, SAUs, and the deemed universities or the central agriculture universities or central universities. If you look at the number of seats for the MSc and the PhD, so for the major subjects you have like there are around 64 universities, and like also like most of the universities have sub campuses, but not in all the universities all subjects are offered. That's true. So in majority of the campus or the universities like GPB and the plant pathologies offered. Okay, they offer MSc and the PhD for these two subjects. But if you check about microbiology and seed technology, there are not many institutes who are like not many institutes, not many state agricultural universities which are offering the MSc and the PhD. So you can check this in the counseling brochure. If you have checked the ICAR counseling brochure, I'll drop the counseling brochure PDF in the description box of 2024. Anyhow, this year counseling brochure will be released after the release of rank card. So you can just check it once. Okay. So this is how it is. The number of seats are very minimal compared to the above subjects. That's how like you can consider this as a major and the minor. Okay. And compared to these two, like microbiology have like a higher number of seats. Okay, and comparatively the least one is like seed science and technology. Very few universities like institutes are offering like PhD and the MSc for this. So this was the one thing. So sir, why are you telling about the number of seats, like how it will impact about the scope? So it's very simple. You have like high competition, like high number of seats, less competition, less number of seats. So equivalent to that, there will be number of vacancies. Number of vacancies in what? Number of vacancies I'm talking about like ICAR institutes, I'm talking about the ARS and mainly SMS and STO. See, based on like funding, based on the infrastructure, based on the project, based on the level of research, obviously like if something is doing really good, there will be ample amount of opportunities. So if you consider that, so there will be high competition for sure, but still there will be highest number of vacancies. The number of vacancies for the different posts like ARS, SMS, STO, so it will be higher. Plus, what other options do we have? We will discuss all of this, but this is the exact thing that students should be aware of. Okay, so now it can be advantageous. You can see it another positive way also. Like since like there are number of students are less and the number of seats will be less, it's again same. Like number of students are less, number of seats are less, same. Number of students are high, more, like number of seats are more, it is almost equivalent. So this thing is always said. Like if you want to see something positive out of it, but rest, this is major and this is minor. We will discuss about like how can you like judge about the scope. Basically, like how do you predict or how do you come to know about the scope? Like how do you decide or how do you measure it? Based on like salary scale, based on the job opportunities, based just checking with the seniors placements, like whether the students from the genetics have got placed or the plant pathology have got placed or the seed tech have placed or the microbiology have placed. Based on that, we usually come up with some conclusion that okay, this subject has particular scope, it has a higher scope, right? Other than that, like frequency of job alerts, like which department is getting the more job opportunities and like how much secure is your job. So based on all these things, like we try to figure out a scope for a field, right? So this is how it is, but it's not entirely, I cannot say that this is the one true or correct or accurate one to like measure the scope, but that depends on individual to individual. Some direct only focus on the job. Say if the some job opportunities are there, they consider that okay, that field has a scope. We'll not debate on this. Okay, I'll keep it to you that whatever you decide like based on which you are trying to decide the scope. But I'll try to break few things and I'll tell you what. Okay, after MSc, let's categorize like what are the job opportunities you have. First thing that is common to all departments, that is ARS, right? And the second thing which is common to all departments, which is like SMS or STO. So this is from the ICR, right? Like ASRB will give the recruitment, and this is under the ICR completely. That is agriculture. What I mean to say is, okay, in the agriculture field or in the agricultural organization. So apart from this, like what else you have? See, that depends on department to department. Like GPB, usually the recruitments come from like Silk Board. Recently, it has been called from the last 3 years, which is not found in the other subjects. Only the GPB and pathology are getting this placement for Silk Board, and also like AMB and PGR was also recently called. Okay, only left for thing which does not have any recruitment in Silk Board was CTech. And apart from this, if you talk about the other like ICFRE, this called like scientist post, and it was in GPB. So specifically, if there is anything something specific to pathology, it is like mostly quarantine jobs that usually comes, and AMB not specific to anything, like they are, if you find out, like you'll get one or two, but there are some things very specific to the departments. But if you list out the number of opportunities other than the MSc, So sorry, other than the ICR, what ASRB is calling, other than the ARS and the estimate, SMS STO, more number of opportunities you will get for GPB or the plant pathology. For AMB, PGR and the SST, there are very limited number of opportunities in the other institutes. If I'm talking about the government, okay, government, whether it is central government or state government, if I talk about the government opportunities, like the job opportunities in the government organizations, so compared to this two major departments, this has very less number of opportunities. This is the one thing that you have to be aware of. But again, you have to take it in the positive way. Even though like there are ample amount of opportunities in the major departments, but the number of students will be also high. But that is not a constraint, because not all the students who are pursuing the MSc and the PhD are like towards the subject. They might be doing it for plan B, some might be doing it just to like pass on the 2 years, focusing on something else. So the different factors always influence. You can take it in both positive in both the cases for major and minor, but this is the actual fact. Okay, so that is what you have to know. If you want to have like more number of options, like more number of job options, then you have to mainly focus on the major subjects. But if you feel that okay, I did not get like much marks in the ICR PG exams, anyhow like I'll not be getting the major subjects, because for the competition for the major subjects for both fellowship seats and non-fellowship seats is high. So if you feel that if I go to the minor I can get the fellowship seats and I'm okay with the subject, I'm very flexible, I'll try to find out the scope in my subject only, like whatever I get, then you can always go for the any subject that you are getting based on whether you get the fellowship or not. But if you are seriously interested in the specific subject, like you are interested in GPV, then no matter like whether you get the JRF or not, you can always prefer the GPP, no matter like where you are going and landing. But there is one thing here, you have to be very focused. You have to make sure that you learn everything that other students are learning who are going to the top institutes. If you are able to do it, and if you are able to compete with the students who are getting the very good universities in their PG, then you will be able to compete for ARS, SMS, STO and for all other organization exams that the department is giving. But if this is the case that okay, you are actually interested in GPB, you think that okay, I'll not go for the minor subjects, I'll not compromise with the subject, but I'll take any university I'm getting, because if your score is low. But after going there, since obviously like the level of teaching, the level of exposure that you get in the top universities, you might not get in all the agriculture universities. Because of that, if you are not able to do well or perform well, or if you are not able to compete with the students who are pursuing the higher studies in the top agriculture universities, then no use of it. Anyhow like you will be not be able to develop the skills. And so no matter like you have done with the GPP, which is like major subjects, there is no difference, since you will not be able to compete. So make sure to understand this, like if you are not compromising with your subject, you want the same subject like major subject only, no matter wherever you are getting it, then you have to put like extra efforts where you compete with the students who are with the top agriculture universities. If you are able to do it, like if you can do it, you think like you will do it, then going for the major subjects, no matter wherever you are getting it, it's fine. Okay, whether you get the fellowship or not. This is the main confusion what students have. Sir, in GPP I'll not get the fellowship, but if I take the minor subject I'll get the fellowship. So should I go with my subject or should I choose a minor subject? This is a simple answer. If you are ready to focus, if you are ready to work hard in a smart way, where you are able to cope up with the competition, then you can always choose the major subject, because opportunities are always more. The actual major subjects can accommodate all the aspirants who are actually dedicated and skillful. But if that is not a case, if you are okay with changing the subjects, sir, no matter like whichever subject I get, like I'll be getting expertise on that, like I'll work on it, I'll get the expertise, and whatever opportunities I have in that field I'll explore it. But I need a very good institute, or I need the JRF fellowship or the PG fellowship, then you can definitely consider the minor subject. It's not like minor subjects, if someone has taken, they have not settled and they have not got good job opportunities. Yes, they have also got the good job opportunities, but it depends on the individual, right? So it depends on you, like how much work you are able to do, how much dedicated you are. Okay, so in the from the starting first day, if you are not interested in the subject, you have that feel that okay, I have taken the CTech, I have taken the like AMB, I should have gone for GPP or pathology. You have this regret from the very first day, then it's difficult. But if you're confident that Yeah, I'm ready to compromise with the subject, but main focus is that I want the JRF fellowship seat plus I want a very good institute. You can consider the minor too, or else go with the major. Fine. So this is the one thing. Sir, you told about few important things regarding the recruitments. What about the private sector? See, even if you consider the private sector, the opportunities are like, you consider this like, or you understand this pathology and GPB in such way, in this way. So these are like broader areas. These are broader fields or broader areas where pursuing the masters in GPB or the plant pathology, you will be master of one plus jack of all. This is a simple explanation. You will be master of one thing, but you will be also jack of all. But if you go for AMB or CTech, yes, you will be master of one. Master is fine, like you will be like mastering one thing, but jack of all, it's not mostly possible in this minor subjects. Because why I'm saying this, just assume this or just understand this field. I'll tell you. So GPB. So in which of the areas you can work on? Like you can directly work on the plant breeding, that is crop improvement. So you can also work on the biotechnology. You can work on the biochemistry. All the research activities are like mixed with everything. You will be getting exposed to the biotechnological aspects. You'll be getting exposed to the biochemistry, and you can also get exposed to the crop physiology or the plant physiology, plus also the bioinformatics. So see the wide range of subjects that you can work on if you are taking genetics. And the plant pathology, if you mainly work like you are always already thorough with the genetics, plus you will be working on the entomology plus also the plant protection, both the things. In plant protection aspects, you can dive into the entomological aspects and with the plant pathology. So this is the one good thing about the major subjects, where you have a lot of options to work on. Wherever you go, whatever you do, like you develop the skills among all the different fields. So whenever you go for the private, so you'll be skillful enough, and the opportunities are obviously more for the major subjects, right? So this is how it is. But what if I consider the CTech? CTech is only seed, like it's mainly about seed production. Yes, you can also study genetical aspects, but you can't be like very thorough with this academics, right? Like only just following your academics, only following your MSc curriculum, you can't be exposed, you can't expose yourself for the different aspects of other fields. Everything you have to learn by your own. So that is the extra burden that you have to take on your own if you are choosing the minor. So that is one specific lacuna that I felt personally. The opinions might differ. The students might, some might portray the minor subjects in the positive way too. I am also not trying to portray it in a negative way, but this is the actual reality right now. So if you are able to cope up with that, okay, minor is fine, you are able to work on it, so then you can also choose the minor. So it's not like there is no job opportunities in the private also. There are, like we have seed companies, we have processing fields. In case of seed production, you can work on, or you can also work on the seed processing, or you can work on the seed sales. There are, but compared to GPB, there are less. It's like students of GPB will know what seed tech students know. Okay, but the students of CTech will not know everything what GPB students know. That's it. It is just a minor field in terms of genetics. That's how you can understand this, right? So this is the two different things. One, I talked about the ARS, other I talked about the other organizations, job opportunities, and lastly I talked about the private institutes. So this is the actual scope. But if your focus is not in any of this, sir, I don't want to like be in this academics. I don't want any subject specific jobs. I'm mainly concentrating on the central government exams. Like I'm going for FC, any exams, like I'll write like NSE, you have like Warehouse Corporation, you have CCI, Cotton Corporation of India. Like there are several other ICR institutes where like general recruitments will be called. If you are focusing on that, or like sir, I'm focusing on the banking. I am preparing for the NABARD. I'm preparing for the IBPS AFO. So if that is the case, if you are already decided that you are not doing anything specific to the subject, it is just a plan B. The primary plan is to secure a good job from the competitive exams, or else like if you are preparing for the UPSC. So if you are doing something which is not at all related to the subjects, or planning in such a way that MSc was just a backup, then I would suggest, if your plan is concrete, if you're confident on about the plan, you can choose any subjects, but from the institute where you get a nice environment and you get the free time to pursue your MSc and also get sufficient time to study. That is the case, you can choose this. if this is your focus, not actually the subject. But if the subject is your focus, if you want to be in a subject, then you have to decide whether you're flexible enough to change the subjects, or or you are all only interested in the major subjects. If that is the case, based on that you can choose it. So one good comparison I'll give you. Okay, so comparison is with the ARS. I'll show you the exact number of recruitments in the last 3. Like the ARS notification came in 2025, it came in 2023, and it came in 2021. So in all the 3 notification, I'll just show you the number of seats for the different departments in plant sciences. So in genetics and plant breeding, C total were 24, plant pathology 26, seed technology 10, and microbiology 7, and plant genetic resource it is 6. Okay, so this was the highest till today. Like in the 2025 notification, the highest number of ARS seats that were called was in the recent notification. So you can see the numbers. Yes, because of the major subjects, they have like very high number, and because since they are minor subjects, they have very low number. So this is the one thing. And equivalent to that, there will be competition level. Since like major subject will have like many students who have completed their MSc and the PhD, the level of competition is high. But only students who have got the quality, they will be able to compete. That is also one thing. It doesn't mean that okay, there are many aspirants who have completed the GPB in the MS and PhD. Not everyone can crack this ARS exam. Only those students who have worked really hard, who have the specific expertise in the subjects, who have done the academics very well, only they will be able to compete. It is same for all the subjects. So this is both more positive and like negative thing about this, right? But the number of seats, if you see, this is how like the recruitment goes. And going to the like 2023, see, like again same trend for the minor and major, like 12 10 6 4 6 for minor. And talking about 2021, see, the number of seats were highest for plant pathology, genetics were quite low, and rest were like in a single digit always. So consider that in the coming years, as a ARS notification comes up regularly, all the seats are already getting filled. For the scientist post, many all the vacant seats will be getting filled in another 3 to 4 years. So after that, there will be not much vacancies that will be available. You have to plan accordingly based on that. So it's always like, see, very simple. If you want to be the subject, if you are very much interested, always choose the major subject. But if you're flexible, you're okay with anything, like you're ready to compete, you are ready to do the extra work, but you want the good institute plus the fellowship, you can go for the minor subjects. That's it. So this is what I want to suggest you people. So if you are confused, at least from now on, don't be confused. You have to sit and decide. You have to calculate by yourself. You have to evaluate yourself, like what is suitable for you, to which you are okay with. Okay, as I told you, like in GPB, in the private, in the government, in the organizations, like you get like a lot of opportunities, but you have to compete with the others. That's it. But in the other subjects, you get very less number of vacancies, less number of recruitments, but there will be less number of students, so probability is quite high. But if the plan work doesn't work, you have to be very sure that, like, you have to make sure that you are ready to go for the private or the any other exams, and you will be able to compete with that. That's it. Okay, so still, like, if you feel like I have not covered anything, I did not convey anything that is actually needed from your end, so please let me know in the comment section. I'll answer your questions in the comment section only. Okay, if you think like, if something you have got some idea, or like if you have got some information from this video, so please like, comment, share, and subscribe our YouTube channel. And I also want to know, like, if this video has helped you in understanding or making the decision that which subject you will be pursuing your MSc. So if you are able to make a decision based on this video, I want to know in the comment section that yes sir, I have decided I'll be pursuing the MSc in this subject. And if there are any questions, the questions are always welcome. You can post it anytime, and we are happy to assist. Thank you so much.